Okay, LifeLog, layer 2 dash 03, I think. Yes. I might be all over the place with this one, because I have to go to work in like 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. So this one's gonna be like quick. I'm gonna try to keep this quick and snappy. But yeah, still working on the game. I finally came up with, I know what I'm gonna do now. I think I got a vague idea, a vague outline for the game, the story, and whatnot. And I've actually been productive. Yesterday, I was not really productive at all. I just, what did I do yesterday? I went to work and I played Persona 3 Reloaded until like midnight. So I don't know if that's being productive. But today, I got up, inspiration struck, kinda. I was planning on playing a game and like recording some background footage for this life log. And so I was looking through Steam, I was looking through my wish lists on Steam, and I was looking through itch.io. I was like, let me just get a cool like niche indie game. Let me just find a cool game to play. And I kind of got inspired just looking through all these indie games. And I was like, man, I don't want to consume any more media. I don't want to play any more games. I need to make my own thing. And then so yeah, I spent a lot of time today too, just like walking in circles in my room. I already do that normally, but like whenever I think about the lore of the game I want to make, I gotta like get it all down pat and get it all jammed into my head and locked in, I guess I could say. I need to get it all down first before I can even start working on anything. So I spent like an hour today just walking in a circle in my room, thinking up the lore and stuff, even though most of it like won't matter in the game. But yeah, I've been working on stuff. I've been working on stuff. I've been working on my game. Um, I think it's gonna be. I kind of my idea for it now is just it's just gonna be like you're this character and you're writing a story and you need inspiration. So basically, you navigate like the home world, which I'm saying this is the home world, right? You start in your home, and then this big map, this big city, it's going to be empty, but there's going to be like doors scattered throughout the city. And then you go to each door, and you go to a different part of this quirky dream world, and then you know just go about experience the world, and you get inspiration for the story you want to write, story slash poem. I think they're going to write a the main character is going to write a poem at the end of the story. But, you know, that's still to be decided. I'm still only at the very beginning stages of making this game. But yes. So, what I've been working on, I made the opening. I made the what am I saying? I made the opening like cutscene type deal. So yeah, there's this image, and it kind of like fluctuates in the back. If you can see that, it's kind of like fluctuating. I added a. Well, I'll show how I did it later, but yeah, there's basically this opening sequence is like a dream sequence. I feel like there's a decent bit of JRPGs that open with like a prophetic dream the main character has. So I kind of just copied that. And then ignore the cat, ignore the meow sound effect. That's a placeholder. Yeah, and then you have a dream, and then you wake up. Um, and I tried adding this like blink effect. You like blink awake. It doesn't look natural, but it's like it's whatever. It's RPG Maker. Who cares? Yada yada yada. Dot dot dot. And then yeah, and then you wake up and you're like, I should write. And then yeah, so this is basically just the game. This is what I got so far. You got you can walk around. This is the main character's apartment. There's like these there. God, I need to slow down. I don't need to rush that much. I have time. But yeah, I put these little stars, these little animated stars around to indicate like you can interact with these things. So you come up and boom, you search the pantry and find a compass. Great. The only thing is, after you search it, I forgot I put like ambiance. There's background ambiance, whatever. I don't know how though. The thing is, I don't know how to make the star go away after you already searched the area. Like the star just stays there, and that's kind of annoying. Um, yeah, because the star is a let's see, it's technically a part of the tile set. So I think like if I'd want the star to go away after the player character interacts with whatever, I'd need to like make a whole separate like copy of the map, but only remove the star. And so like every time you pick something up, it would teleport you to a different map. But that seems like that sounds so redundant. That sounds like that would A take so much time and resources, and B it was just I don't think it'd be worth it. So I think I'm just gonna leave it how it is, unless there's some other way I can do this. But I don't know if there's by some chance any RPG Maker pros specifically for RPG Maker MZ that knows how I could do this effect and make the star like go away after the player interacts with the event. Let me know. I guess. But yeah, so that's what I got. You can interact with a bunch of stuff in here, as you can see by all these squares. They're all events. And that's about as far as I got. Now, how I made that intro part is first I made this area called burning. I don't know. It's called burning because originally it was going to be, I was going to make a whole different map for a whole different opening cutscene. And then I scrapped that. Like most everything, I scrapped everything. That's actually what I did. Not last night, but the night before last night. So 2 nights ago. I drew a little storyboard for the opening of this game, but then I changed my mind and I didn't end up using it. But yeah, so basically I made this in RPG Maker. I made this like gray barren landscape, and the idea is like those are supposed to be like buildings at the bottom, and then there's that's supposed to be like a big tower in the back. It kind of looks stupid, so then I took it in Photoshop and I tried adding all these like effects and stuff on it to make it look more like dreamlike and make it look more, I don't know, scenic. It still looks kind of goofy, but what are you going to do? I'm not going to fret over it. I'm just glad I got something done. And then, yeah, so then that's how I got the intro going down. Boom. And I picked a name for the game. Ignore this. This was going to be, originally when I started making this game a year ago, this was going to be the main character. You're going to play as a guy named Scaldwald, and he's like a cat guy who likes smoking cigarettes. Now I've decided the main character is gonna be, I can put it right here, Sophie K, or just K, nickname K. Bam. Heavily inspired by Franz Kafka there, obviously. In the trial, I think the main character just goes by K. I forgot what his actual name is. Anyways, yeah, I found a name for the game. It's gonna be I Shouldn't Be Here. Very ominous, very depressing name. And that was actually what I was going to title this game way back when I started working on it a year ago. That's what's funny. I haven't actually done much today. Like this map was already made. All these maps are already made. I made these like a year ago or so. So all I did was decide like, hey, I already made these. What if I actually just use them for the game instead of like spending all this time making entirely new maps? The only new thing I made was this piece of garbage. That is a thing though. That is going to be a time consuming thing in the future. I'm going to have to make my own custom tile sets. Like I've done it a little bit already. Like if you look for the outside tile set, I've already made some custom tiles there, and then for the inside tile set, D and E, these are all just custom stuff. But I need to make my own custom like A tile set, like A1, A2, A3, all these different categories of A tile sets eventually, so I have like more control over the world I'm building or whatever. Because yeah, this is a new one I'm making, but obviously I don't have anything made yet except these. So I don't know. I don't know. There's probably like I don't think many people are gonna watch these life logs, and I'm mostly making them for myself anyway. But on the off chance someone who likes making stuff in RPG Maker sees these, I hope we can interface and talk about different ways to make games in RPG Maker or something. I don't know, because that's kind of another goal of this channel is like I don't want an audience. I kind of want like a little community almost, just to work with other people, meet other people online, through the interwebs and whatnot. Because as time goes on, oops, I just slammed my watch into the table. Lord have mercy. It's 11:47. I have time. As time goes on, I realize, I don't like interacting with people in real life. I'm very antisocial. I have my friends, I like my friends and all that one, but even then I'm just always awkward, or I just always overthink things. Whenever I'm in the presence of other people, I get really neurotic, and I either get really irritated or I get really anxious and start sweating a lot. Even if I'm not talking to anybody, if I'm just around somebody, my brain's like, oh, they're probably judging you. They're probably looking at you. And I'm like, I know they're not. I'm not the star of the show here. No one cares that I exist. No one cares. But then even just being around people, just even being in the general area, I'm always like, oh, I got to conduct myself a certain way. Oh, I have to fit in like this. I have to make sure I'm not saying out too much. Blah, 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 blah. And then I get really irritated or I get really flustered and I start sweating profusely. And it's so annoying. I tell you what. Back to the game, this life log, it's layer 2, so it's got to be about the game. Another thing I'll show real quick. This is another thing I already made a while back, but I decided just to keep it for this game. If I turn that on and disable that, I made a little it's a little opening video. This is not the final video. I'm thinking of adding to it before I release or before I finish the game, where I basically like state the basic controls, of the game before it starts. But yeah, this is like a little video I made a while ago. I hope it's not too loud. Yeah. But you can skip it too. You can click and then it skips it. And then of course I have not fucked around with the main menu yet, so it's the basic RPG Maker music and whatever. And you do new game. And then it should throw you into the opening cutscene. Yes. Great. So that's awesome. And I'm gonna turn that back on and turn that off for now. I've actually been making work on the game, and that's great. I guess I should set a goal. I don't know if I'll do that now. Let's see, it's 11:50. I have some time. I should set a goal. I'm gonna try to set a vague goal that I have to achieve before I start school here in a month. Oh boy, I don't know. I guess my goal will be I want to make a new character or make a new setting. I'll say that. I already have an idea for what the first so basically the game's a bunch of short stories. I think I already said that, but pardon me, I had to burp. It's a bunch of short stories. You go around the main hub world, going through these doors, and you experience these short stories. And I already have an idea for the first one. It's going to be about a silly knight. It's going to be heavily inspired by Don Quixote. Don Quixote. And the main knight is going to be called Sir Render because he's a coward. Get it? Haha. And then you have to help him. Like he's either going to be like trying to break into a witch's castle, or he's going to be captured by like a witch, and his squire like runs after you and he's like, please help my master, you have to save my master, Sir Render. And then yeah, you go on a little journey, and at the end of every journey it's going to send you back to this map, your home. But it's also going to play similar to the intro, it's going to play a dream sequence that's going to tie into the ending of the game. And I won't explain further. I'll keep it an esoteric mystery as to what this game is about. I mean, on the surface, the game's about a neurotic witch, an aspiring writer who wants to write a book, short story, or poem. One of the three. That's what I got so far. It's currently 11:52. Other interesting stuff. I'm thinking about tomorrow. I have to go out. Tomorrow I have to go to the store, buy food and stuff, and maybe return my bike. That's a whole different story. Tomorrow I got to go to the store, but I was thinking while I go out tomorrow, I was thinking about buying a Hatsune Miku figure, to kind of reward myself for going back to college and starting a new chapter of my life. Maybe, I guess. I'm not much of a consumer. I don't like owning a lot of stuff, I will say, but I do make an exception for books and literature and any merch to do with Hatsune Miku. Oh, that would be a whole nother life log probably. And then this coming Friday, I have my student orientation, so that's gonna be exciting. The only thing is, it's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's gonna be like an all day thing, but I have a shift the day before that where I have to work 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And I can't really complain too much, well, I can still complain, but the complaining is going to be directed at myself because I picked that shift and I completely forgot I had student orientation the day after. So I'm going to have to like go home and go right to sleep, and then I have to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to take the bus down there because I hate driving. God, I hate driving, especially in the summer. There's so many evil people on the road, and it's just so everyone's so violent on the road. It's scary and it's crazy. So yeah, I gotta wake up early, take the bus down to the city because I'm going to college downtown in the city. So great, 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 great. That's what's going on. LifeLog Layer 2-03. I might start making an intro for these life logs as well. That could be cool. That could be a fun little project to do. And yeah, I think that's about it. Let me make sure I turn the plugins. Yeah, the plugins are great. The plugins are on. Shout out to all these people. That's another thing too. I think in that opening video I had before the game actually starts, I'm gonna put the control scheme of the game, and I'm also gonna put like a big thanks to these people, like all the creators of these different plugins, because I wouldn't be able to flesh out my idea like this if it weren't for the plugins I'm using, namely the most poignant one. Poignant? That's a word. I think is the MZ3D by Qt Virus. It's a very great plugin, and I've seen a lot of people, like I've been looking around. I lurk around the RPG Maker like forum sometimes, and I'm like looking around a lot, and I see people are doing really cool things with the 3D plugin. So that's great. It's really cool. And that's another thing that can really drive up inspiration in me and drive me to actually work on this game, is just going around and seeing other people's like small scale projects that they're making, and it's like, man, I could do this. I want to do this too. I really want to get involved in like the RPG Maker community, but I'm so bad at that because anytime I get involved with anyone, or I make a new friend, or I get involved in something, some social setting, it always goes really good, and then like out of the blue, like at the drop of a hat, I just get really antisocial, and I'm like, I don't want to get close to these people at all, and I get really scared, and I don't want to become close to anyone. And it's like it's up and down. Uh, everything goes up and down. The highs are really high, the lows are really low, and when I'm down here at the lows, I just don't want to interact with people, and then that's how I've lost so many friendships, and I feel as if I'm in the process of losing more, and I'm probably going to be alone in the future. But I'm not too sad about that. I think I'm kind of fine with that. But that's kind of why I started this channel, because I'd like to maybe meet people online. I've never really done that. Even as a kid, a lot of people my age, they meet people online and they stay friends through Discord. But I've never done that because I've always been afraid of people online. I like very rarely played online games, and when I did, I wouldn't talk to people. I wouldn't interact for multiple reasons, but I won't get into all that. Anyways, it's been a 20-minute recording. It's 11:57. I think I'm gonna call it here. That's what I've been working on the game, baby. I'm so excited. Yeah. And then while I'm at work, that's the one thing I still have to figure out, is the call to action, because this main character is a shut-in, right? And they don't want to go outside, and they just want to stay inside and write. So I need to figure out a call to action that would bring a shut-in out of their home and into all these different like fairy tale worlds. So yeah. I'll probably think that up while I'm at work. Hopefully I come up with something. This is all for now. I'm OCD about it. I gotta keep saving. I hope I didn't accidentally mess anything up while I was showing off what I have so far. I think it's all right. Should be all good. That's what I got so far. Great. Awesome. Cool. Sick. Goodbye.
Let's have a word of encouragement from Chia-chan. You do your do what?